We bring you another update about the firmware of the GoPro Hero 9, and this one is quite interesting, especially the way they're phrasing it, and I want to read this verbatim. Let's see what GoPro is telling us here. 1.5 firmware release. We are delaying this until December. Why? The more we test the Hero 9 Black in the field, the more feedback we receive from users, the more we identify little upgrades that will have huge impacts on the user experience.
Right, so if you've seen our previous two videos about the GoPro Hero 9, we talked about some problems. There are 7 problems in particular that we identified. There are actually more problems that we didn't talk about. And the first firmware update came out shortly after we did that video in October. And so we were waiting for the second firmware update to come out. It was supposed to come out in November, but as we just read, it is now pushed back till at least December.
And I don't know about you, but when I read that statement there, this is like politically friendly speak for them to say, yes, there are problems with this release and we're trying to fix more of them before the next update, which matches exactly what we said in our video where a lot of people objected, but the truth was this was a bit of a rushed release. And they're having to go and mop up now and months later continue fixing what wasn't right with the original release. And this is a confirmation.
And to be fair, not every person is going to find these problems to be relative, I guess. Like not everybody shoots in 4K, not everybody uses scheduled capture, or is going to use the mic adapter. So these are pretty specific problems. You may or may not find them to be problems for yourself, but for us, we definitely find them to be problems. And there seem to be a lot of other people who agreed with us.
That's right, and we want to be clear because a lot of people misunderstood us last time. We are still big proponents of using this camera. We recommend that people use it. It is the best action camera out there in our opinion, and we'll make a full review soon. And we are not making it yet because we need this release to be finalized. You know, the update needs to be there. And so we are still big fans of GoPro, but we bring you the real condition of using this camera in the field. We don't really sugarcoat. Many people seem to have made very favorable reviews, and many commenters come to our channel and say, you're the only ones talking about problems. It's not true.
Well, yeah, I mean, our previous video, like some people said that and other people agreed that there are problems. And for as long, we became dedicated GoPro users in the Hero 7. We love that camera, but it had its fair share of problems, such as freezing bugs, which are still present. They didn't address those in their update, but those are issues that we've seen in every single GoPro.
Okay, so with all that said, let's look at what is going to be into this release. And the biggest reason we're waiting for it is the fact that you still cannot use the GoPro with the external mic adapter and therefore assemble your own rig unless you're using the media mod.
And we do have the media mod, so we have been using that as our vlogging setup, but I know quite a few of you either have an existing GoPro mic adapter that you want to use, and Ulanzi's been releasing cages, so we have the setup. We're just waiting for the camera itself to be compatible with that mic adapter, so that should hopefully be coming next month.
That's right. The next big thing that they're adding is even better Hypersmooth, which, I don't know, it blows my mind that it can get better and better from here. It's already the best in the world when it comes to digital image stabilization.
Yeah, so Hypersmooth is going to get some kind of boost. We already think it's the best ever on the Hero 9. Like that, to me, they got right out of the box. So, but they're going to apparently make even more improvements to it. So we'll see what's in store for us.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Mm-hmm. So a really cool feature that came out on the GoPro Hero 9 was scheduled capture, so that you can schedule when the GoPro is going to shoot, which is really handy for like time lapses and shooting when you don't want to be next to the GoPro. But the problem is that when it came out, a lot of people mentioned that it wasn't working properly.
Well, hopefully after this release it will.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that is supposed to be fixed, which should be really handy for those of us that like to, schedule our shoots in advance.
Yeah, and we love waking up, but not exactly at the crack of dawn.
We don't like waking up early. Come on, that's what scheduled capture is for.
I do. But if you were to camp or something at a scenic place, you can just leave the camera out, and if it's reliable, you know it will work, and you capture the sunset or sunrise. I mean, and if it's not reliable, you have to get up anyway because you have no knowing of it happening.
Yeah, so it's a cool feature, assuming that they can get it to work, so fingers crossed.
Another feature we're seeing here for the first time that they're going to be releasing is a Slowmo shortcut. If you have used GoPro a lot, you know shortcuts are really helpful because the menus can be tedious to click into with your fingers. It's not the easiest, but the more things you can make surface on the top level where your screen is, that's better.
Yeah, so I'm kind of amazed that they don't already have a Slowmo shortcut, because you've been able to shoot Slowmo with a GoPro for a long time. So I guess finally now we're going to get a Slowmo shortcut. So that should be really helpful.
The next feature we're seeing released is that you can, after this release, live stream with the ultra wide max mod.
Right, so we don't have that max lens mod yet, but I literally just ordered it yesterday, so it's on its way. So we'll be testing a lot and doing a separate video about that max lens mod, but apparently you haven't been able to live stream while using that max lens mod, but that should be fixed in the upcoming firmware update. So the next fix is a GPS accuracy improvement. We personally don't use GPS on our GoPro because if you enable that, then it drains your battery a lot faster, but it can still be really handy, especially if you travel or if you're out hiking. You can get accurate GPS coordinates for your filming or your photos, and so apparently that hasn't been so accurate, but it should be fixed soon.
Yes, and the final feature is that it looks like they're improving the speed of which you can get your media off the GoPro onto your phone by 20%.
And that's pretty big for those of us that use the GoPro app. I actually think the GoPro connectivity to the app on our Samsung Galaxy smartphones anyway is actually pretty fast and accurate. So really handy if you want to get your media off to post on social media, or if you have the GoPro Plus subscription, you get unlimited cloud storage. So that's a really good way to back up your footage onto the cloud. So really helpful for those of us that want that connectivity.
Yeah, and it's wireless and painless if it's fast, so that should be good. Yeah, and really what this whole thing amounts to is the fact that certain things just weren't working out of the gate, but the company is doing the due diligence and releasing them. There's a whole video that can be made about the GoPro release cycle and why it's a double-edged sword. And to me, it looks like they weren't quite ready. What we said in our first video was accurate. But with that said, we're still very much into GoPro and love what we're getting out of it. We never recommended to not buy it, which a lot of people misunderstood. We're glad that now the things that we spotlighted are getting fixed one by one.
That's right. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you have any questions or if you know of other firmware updates that we don't know about. And yeah, hopefully you guys buy the GoPro Hero 9 because we have it, we've been using it. Besides some of these problems, it's been honestly a real joy to use. I think it's been the best GoPro release so far. And if they can make all these improvements, it should be even better.